was that silly? I have an audience. Yeah, you have to be quiet. Hey guys, welcome. I'm Katie, and I'm adding up Addingtons. So today I wanted to give you a little bit of background and kind of tell you our family story, if you will. How we all got to be here and how we all got to be the added up Addingtons. You'll probably hear some kid noise in the background because my kids are fascinated with this process and they're all sitting right here watching me. Well, not all of them, but 5 of them are. Alright, so I have to start way back. My husband Jonathan and I actually met when we were 13 and in 7th grade. We went to church youth group together and we knew each other through middle school and high school and even into college. Look at those babies! Aren't we cute? We were 17 in that picture. But we did not start dating until after I graduated from college. So we started dating about the time we turned 22. In the fall of 2008, I got a job in Knoxville, Tennessee, which is a whole different story all by itself. And I moved down here. John followed me in February of 2009. We got engaged in April and married in August of 2009. So we have been married for almost 11 years. Shortly before our first anniversary, we found out, surprise, that we were going to have a baby. And that baby turned out to be Mr. Gavrel Addington. So he... Gavrel! Here's Gavrel! Isn't he cute? So he was our first added up Addington. Not quite a year and a half later, we found out that we were expecting again. And in April of 2013, we added Mr. Declan Ezekiel to our Addingtons. And I'm sure that you can tell that Declan is our shy child. All right. Roughly a year and a half later, we found out we were expecting again, and having had 2 boys and feeling very much like I did through my first pregnancy, I fully expected this third baby to be a boy, and I had just fully embraced the boy mom feeling, you know what I mean? Trucks and mud and sticks and hiking and the whole deal. And so when we went in and the baby was born, and John looked at the baby and he said, "Did we have a baby girl?" And if it had been a movie soundtrack, you would have heard like the record scratch, like everything stopped. And I looked at him and I went, "What? I don't have girls. What?" Sure enough, I don't care. Sure enough, that baby was a little girl. So Miss Kavannah Abigail was our next added up Addington in March of 2015. So if you're keeping track, that's, yes, 3 birthdays in 3 weeks. All 2 years apart. About the time Kavannah was about 8 or 9 months old or so, John and I felt very, very strongly the call to begin looking into foster care, which again is a whole story on its own that I'll have to come back to. So in January of 2016, we started classes to become registered foster parents, and our home study was completed in the first week of March. So for about 3 weeks, we were just in sort of this waiting period where our home study was finished, but our state license hadn't been fully approved yet, and so we were just kind of hanging out. During that time, Kavannah turned 1, and a couple weeks later, I got an email from our caseworker saying that our licensure had been approved, everything was done, and she was going to send our name over to placement. And I got a phone call 10 minutes later asking, there's a 1.5-year-old little girl with a baby sister on the way. So on April 4th, a lovely little girl came to live with us. This is Josianah Samaria.
Hi.
She was 19 months old when she moved in with us, and today when I'm filming this, she is 5.5. So we are so thankful that she is here. Almost exactly a month later, on May 6th, I received news that JoJo's birth mom had given birth to a 4-pound, 15-ounce tiny little baby girl. And 5 days later, I received custody paperwork to go pick up you crazy Annorah Bliss, who at that time had lost a bunch of weight. So she was this 4-pound little tiny thing that I could hold in my hands.
Wow!
And now she's 3.5 and huge. John used to joke that he could put her in his cargo pocket in his pants, and it was true. She was tiny. You're not tiny anymore. You're not tiny anymore. Alright, so after Annorah was born, she spent 3 weeks in the NICU before she was able to come home. So about a week, maybe 2 weeks after Annorah came home, so this was in the end of May of 2016, I found out that I was expecting again. So at the very end of February 2017, Mr. Carsten Melchizedek made his appearance. And so those 2 babies were only 9.5 months apart, almost 10 months. I was literally getting up in the middle of the night to feed Annorah the night before I went into labor with Carsten. Anyway, so when Carsten was a couple months old, we were in the middle of adoption proceedings for JoJo and Annorah, and I got a phone call one night from DCS placement saying, hey, we have a kid who needs a bed just for the night. And then just for the night turned into just for the weekend. And then the weekend turned into a couple weeks until they could find a new family. And then finally the question became, do you guys just want to be that new family? And so that's how we came to have Hadassah Leilani Karalia, who is now 16 years old. She was 13 that night when she arrived at our door. So the little girl's adoption was finalized on May 31st of 2017. And then Hadassah's adoption followed that October on the 30th, which is my birthday. I got a daughter for my birthday of 2017. We were busy, everything was going full speed ahead, and the following September I found out that I was expecting again. Clearly I don't have any issues with this. And Miss Elyonah Isabella joined our family at the end of April 2019. Yes, if you're keeping track, that means we have 6 birthdays in 2 months. So that is how we came to be adding up Addingtons. I know I just glossed over everything at about 30,000 feet. So if you have more questions or you want to know anybody else's specific story, let me know in the comments down below what you'd like to see from us. And make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're following along. You can follow me on Instagram or on Facebook, and we'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.